We're talking now about Oklahoma's 2018 cotton crop with Seth Bird, our extension cotton specialist. And Seth, why don't we just kind of start with a basic overview of the past growing season and harvest?
Yes, we had a lot of new growers and a lot of folks that got really excited about cotton coming out of the 2017 season. We discussed it quite a few times about our hot, dry start. A lot of rough decisions early on to replant or keep stands, but overall I think most of our cotton got through that early part okay, and we caught rains in the middle of the year. Caught probably more rain than we needed near the end of the year, and so, you know, specifically for harvest, we had some tough times getting really good leaf drop, really good activity from our defoliants, and then we had, you know, some really intermittent harvest conditions where you could maybe get in the field for a few hours a day, but we didn't really see those big, you know, sort of green light periods where you could just harvest for a long period of time. So we produced, you know, probably less cotton on more acres than we did in 2017, but it took a lot longer to get out of the field because of those conditions. So now we've got a lot of the crop has gone, you know, through the gin, and we're getting a lot of those classing reports back. And so from a quality standpoint, we're seeing fairly good cotton. It's not, you know, the premiums for every category like we'd love to see, but we don't see anything that really is a big red flag or a black mark on our quality, which I think is a good sign considering we did have some pretty rough conditions getting harvest through, and we had a lot of potential weathering that happened. So overall, maybe not the 2017 bell ringer year, but we had a pretty good year overall.
And we'll take it, of course. I know the numbers are still kind of getting finalized, but any kind of perspective on the number of bales produced?
So, you know, the USDA projected, I believe back in September, if I'm remembering all the numbers right, I think we were around 950. I haven't seen a real good update yet. And we've got a lot of cotton that gets obviously ginned in Kansas, and a lot of the Kansas gins are a little behind right now. They had to do a lot of upgrading there. I think we'll probably be pretty close to those projections. They kind of did bump up our projected pounds per acre number, which that kind of gives us a pretty good key into how many bales we're going to produce, ballpark if we know how many acres we're going to harvest. So a lot of estimated numbers, a lot of big numbers to try to figure out, but I think we'll be close to projections.
Okay, well, keep us posted on how all of those kind of finalize. Oklahoma, of course, is a unique growing state, cotton included. What kind of questions are you getting this time of year from producers?
So producers and the industry folks overall love to know where we're going to be in 2019. You know, we saw a big jump from 16 to 17. We saw another really big jump from 17 to 18 in terms of acres planted. And so we kind of want to know where are we going from here. And so that's been the big question, is what's the Oklahoma cotton landscape going to look like in 2019? And I think all signs and all projections from folks that we talk to that are you know, connected with the industry say that we're going to go up again in acres. So we could see an increase. I don't know how much of an increase. I tend to be a little conservative on my acres guesses. So I think we'll hit around that 800,000 mark, and we were at 760 this year. So that's a 40,000 acre increase, which isn't huge, but it's still an increase. And then new variety availability. And so there's a lot of new traits that are coming on the market. We've now got 3-gene Bulgur or BT traits, which are insect resistant traits. We've got multiple 3-gene packages of herbicide traits, and availability of these varieties, they're in very high demand. And so what we have heard so far is that our availability for those should be good, and we have a lot of different growing regions in the state, and so each of those varieties and trait packages may fit a different region better than others. And so we hope that we can address grower needs with varieties available across our you know, multiple growing environments in Oklahoma.
And of course, that's one of the challenges and opportunities of extension, and you and the team are adapting to that as you present information to growers around the state. Talk about the upcoming event, how it's structured, and what the opportunity is for folks to learn more.
Yeah, so January 16th, we're having our first attempt at a Oklahoma cotton update. And so it's going to be both an in-person meeting in Altus at our Research and Extension Center there, just south of town. I think everybody in that area knows where the farm is down there. But we're also going to broadcast it online as a webinar. So sort of similar to the Wheatonars that have been very successful for that crop. We're going to try to maybe ride the coattails of their idea. And really the whole goal is to get information out to a statewide audience. We've got, like I mentioned a minute ago, we've got a lot of different little growing regions in Oklahoma. So just to kind of bring everybody into the same room, whether they actually be there in Altus in person or they can join us online. And so it's an informal meeting. We don't have any strict agenda, but we just want to hopefully provide folks a place to network and share ideas and ask questions where, maybe in the typical extension meeting, you're more of a local meeting. This is going to be hopefully a more statewide audience, so a little less formal, a little more broad spectrum of topics we can cover.
So in terms of questions, folks can send those in advance?
Yes, they can email. If they follow us on Twitter, they can obviously message us on Twitter as a direct message. They can, a lot of our older producers probably get the newsletter from our IPM specialist in Altus, Jerry Goodson, so they have contact with Jerry. Any way they want to get us to us, or the day of. We'd love to have a discussion and not really a meeting. And so day of, if they're in the room, ask in person. If they're online, type it into the little question box there, and anything we can do to hopefully spur conversation and answer questions that a lot of folks probably have is kind of our goal.
Right, some of that shared dialogue, of
Right.
course. Okay, well, keep us posted on that, and we'll be sure to follow along too.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Seth. And for more information on the meeting, the Oklahoma Cotton Update, go to sunup.okstate.edu.